and Unsigned, a presentation of Zagnif Productions, LLC. Indie and Unsigned.
So no lions, no.
Unless I get backstage, I'm not coming.
He was getting it in. For those of y'all that are listening to the, for those of y'all that are listening to, get over the world. I'm making that up. I don't know what it's like all over the rest of the world. But I am here today.
Broadcasting live from Zagnif Studios, it's Indie and Unsigned, where we interview the best and the brightest of the stars that you haven't met yet.
Yeah, last time I talked to y'all, I was bragging.
And now it's time for another episode of Indie and Unsigned with your host, Mr. Fingaz.
Episode 2 of Indie and Unsigned. I'm your host, Mr. Fingaz.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? How are you up in the cheap seats? How are you guys doing in the seats that you thought was stage front, but actually wound up off in the wings where you can't see nothing? Haha. Those of you that bought your VIP tickets, forget you guys, but we love you and thank you all for coming. Welcome to another edition of Indie and Unsigned. I'm your host, Mr. Fingaz, broadcasting from Zagnif Central, all the way in the heart of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It is a wonderful, 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 wonderful September evening. Fall is falling. Autumn is autumning. You can smell the pumpkin spice coming down the street. You can hear the ghosts of Uggs past starting to revive themselves and raise themselves from the grave. And I have... Did you like that? And I have with me today a very special guest, ladies and gentlemen. This young lady and I go back about 16, 17 years, catching up on 20 years. But she is a very, very, very talented singer, and I'm very happy to have her with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Sparkles. How are you doing today, Sparkles?
I am well. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm awesome. Any day above ground is a great day. The way that things have been in the world lately, any day that I can say that I'm above ground and I'm doing my thing with the people that I care about is a great day. Sorry, I had to make sure I was running through the right microphone feed because sometimes it's going through the computer and it sounds like I'm in a wind tunnel. It's like, how are you doing? So I had to make sure I had that right.
Understood.
We pick up right where we left off. Look, if I could get 10,000 of you in an arena and do stand up, I would be the most successful stand up comic on the face of the planet. She laughs.
No. He's right. He's right.
I would just tell the corniest jokes, and she would just be cracking up like, "My God, you're so crazy! You did the thing, and you told the dude he looked like Tattoo from Fantasy Island. The plane. You were there that night, weren't you?
Yes, I was. I was.
I tell people that story, and people think I'm making that story up. For those of you that have never heard this story before, I'm hosting a show at Ned Devine's in Centerville, Virginia. Great venue, now closed, but it was an awesome venue for live bands and especially for karaoke. Had the blackout curtains and the whole black stage theme. They had a full lighting complement. They had a sound system that you could hear for miles and miles around. And it was just an awesome place to do karaoke. Well, the stage was about 2.5, 3 feet high. You had to walk upstairs to get on it. And somebody was singing, and I forget who. And this drunk guy just wanders out of the crowd. He's standing at the foot of the stage, and he is heckling the hell out of whoever is singing. And I'm trying to shoot a guy away, and he wouldn't go away. And folks were just kind of very entertained by this. And I thanked my singer when they were done singing. And the guy was just, I'm like, what? And he just kept, he's going on. And I was like, hey, man, let the people sing. They're here having a good time. Everybody's trying to enjoy the show. Just, chill out and do this. He said something to me, and I was like, does Mr. Rourke know you snuck off the island, sir? Does this sound familiar? Boss, the plane. Then I was like, where's the manager? Hey, man, don't y'all have a sign at the door say you must be this tall to do karaoke? How y'all sneak this dude in here? Then he wanted to fight. Then he wanted to start a fight. Then I had to go and buy him and his boys a round of drinks. Well, I wanted to buy him one, but I think they cut him off. So I bought drinks for them and stuff like that just to kind of soothe the situation over. But his boys came to me later on. I was like, bro, that was funny as hell. He was annoying. But that is a very true story. And I love telling that story because it was probably my most off-the-cuff comic genius comment I think I ever made at a karaoke show. And it's probably the only one I can remember because I did drink a lot of alcohol back then, but hey, it is what it is. But anyway, darling, it is good to see you. As I was telling everybody, you are a singer extraordinaire. I think you wound up coming in. Did you wind up placing in that contest we had, or did you even participate?
I did participate. I think I came in second. Um, yeah, it was second, I believe.
Because I remember Jules. I remember Jules came in first place because she sang "I Will Survive" with the roller skates all around the bar. And I think her
Oh
husband
yeah,
came in third, or something like
yeah, and
that.
I was in between. I was wearing this spanky leather pleather thing, I guess.
Our youth, the things we wore in our
Ah,
youth.
youth, all
I,
the
I,
things.
yeah, I say that now. You see that picture of me with the fedora with the giant brim. They're like, "What is OG doing? He's a little too old for that fad." It's like, no, it's perfect for me, nephew. I've gotten to that stage now.
Fabulous.
I've gotten to that stage now. The young folk, the youngsters are calling me Unc and OG. So I guess that means it's official. I'm officially middle aged.
That's totally fine. It's totally fine.
I don't know if I'm
That
ready to
just means
be on that yet.
wait, no, that just means we did it right.
We survived. We're still here. Okay.
We did it right.
sometimes
And
I wonder if that's a blessing or if it was just we won the battle of attrition.
well, that too. But I mean, again, we did it right and we survived, and we're the ones ruling the roost. We're the ones paving the way.
Well, that is very true. So we've done a whole lot of introductions and things like that. Why don't you tell the people a little something about Sparkles? Now save the good stuff because I got questions, but tell them a little something about Sparkles.
Oh gosh. I've been singing since I was about 3 years old. On and off with, oh gosh, lots and lots of help with my parents, who are both singers. It helps to be in an artistic family, but it also helps to be passionate and motivated to do the thing. And I always found that music was much more entertaining than actually learning things. So, yeah, that would be me. Um, I've always sang since I was a kid. I still sing, and usually people are honking when I'm in the car with my windows down, like screaming the music that's going on the radio. And they're like, "Hey, what you singing?" I'm like, "Okay, well, it's on this channel here. Yeah, bye." So yeah, that's my musical foray, as it were. I did a tiny bit on the Bret Michaels album. I did a song "Lie to Me" with him, that Pete
That's
Evick
heavy
actually
hitter.
recorded. Yeah,
Heavy
I know,
hitter.
right?
We'll talk some
But
more about that in a little bit, though. We will. Now,
yeah,
don't give it all away. We in the early
I'm
part of the
not,
interview. Don't get just give a little piece at a time.
it's just here
That's
you
the
go,
best way to
tidbit. Blip.
the best way to eat an elephant, one bite at a time. Um, so you and I have this. We do have this long history. We had to kind of think it through as to where, and Ned. We came up with Ned Divines in Centerville as to where we met. Now I don't know if it was at the time when the show had built up or if it was still building. And at one point we both wound up. We wound up. Excuse me. We wound up working together for a karaoke company based out of Sterling, Virginia. I'm not gonna put their name out there because they're not paying no sponsorship fees, but we wound
Right.
up we wound up working together for that company. And even after I left that company and went and joined another company, we stayed in contact. And then for the listen, y'all don't understand. I know a lot of y'all look at some of us middle-aged folks and be like, but then you have to understand we were young once too. And in our heyday, there were more guys trying to get at this young lady. Hey, baby, how you doing? What's up? Or there were guys that would try and get me to hook them up with her. And she didn't play that. It was like, nah, you can't come and talk to me. Then you can't Jodeci and come and talk to me. I got nothing for you. And then one day she was like, I got married. What? like we didn't even know you would like you kind of sort of were dating your husband, but it was even that was kind of on the low because at that point you were kind of backing out of the scene. So the next time I saw you, like, yeah, I got married. What?
Yes, exactly.
And married for how long now? It's about 11, 12? You said
It this year will be 12 years.
12 years.
Hmm.
12 years. That gets the air horn. How about the air horn for the 12 years for Sparkles, ladies and gentlemen? I've met the husband. He's a great dude. Great sense of humor. Always got a big cheesy smile on his face. What's up, man? Hey, how you doing? Like, what did you do? You smiling too big. Like, don't do that. That makes people suspicious. Like, yeah. But he's also a music producer, and so it's my understanding he's helping you with some projects, which we will get into in just a minute. Those of you just joining us that are watching this episode, thank you for tuning into this week's edition of Indian Unsigned. I am your host, Mr. Fingaz. This is our illustrious guest, Sparkles. We're going to be finding out a whole lot more about Sparkles in just a bit, but before we do another further, we are going to have a little something from our sponsor, Squid Ribs Cards. Don't go far. We'll be right back.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness.
That's indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Squid Ribs Cards, a sponsor of Indian Unsigned. That is our guy, Sid Swinton. If you like football cards, if you love football cards, if you are an avid collector. Yeah. Okay, Mike Tyson in the building today. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Mr. Fingaz had to go in the back. I'm going to host the show for a minute. Nope, here he comes. He's coming back. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. No problem, brother. I'm always ready. I'm impregnable and impenetrable anytime you need. I'm ready to be there. And we're back. Hi. And scene. That's our guy, Sid Swinton. If you love football cards and football card collections, he's got them. He gets in a new shipment every week. He's on TikTok twice a week. We still don't know what days, but you can find him on under the tag Squid Rips Cards. The name is right there in the crawl in the lower third. Make sure you check him out. And before we go another further, speaking of checking him out, please make sure if you're watching this to like the video, to share the video, to subscribe, and drop us a comment or two and just let us know you're here. Everything helps with the algorithms, and all of our tags are all across the top and the bottom of the screen and running across the crawl, so you can find all of our platforms. Yeah, I do a lot of shows, especially since football season is kicked off. I probably may never sleep again. Anyway, and we're back. So we're here with Sparkles. So you were talking about how you got it, and so you remember what it was that got you into music at 3 years old, or was it anything in particular, or you just fell in love with music the first time you ever remember hearing it?
I think the first thing I remember hearing was an opera my dad was playing.
Oh, wow.
Weirdest thing ever, an opera. And it was Madame Butterfly, I believe. It was just the weirdest. I was like, oh, this has got a lot of things in it that I could probably copy or just do. And then I started singing from that point on. I actually was in a commercial for Pan Am because they heard me singing, or one of the representatives for Pan Am heard me singing at like 4 years old. And then
very nice.
They had me on a commercial for Pan American.
Very nice. We'll get the air horn for that right there. Bop, 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 bop. I want the real air horn, the one that goes fan, 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 but that's the only sound effects that this platform has. So we balling on a Kmart budget, and Kmart is out of business. So what does that tell you? As soon as we can get that, as soon as we can get the store credit approved with the $1.25 tree, we go get some more sound effects.
Yeah, I mean, music is the thing. That's what saved my life and pushed me forward.
It's kind of a glue, you know what I mean? It's kind of, because you think about it, just about everything in life is punctuated by something musical, whether it's the sound of traffic, the sound of rain, birds singing, animals making noises. It's everywhere, and it's all musical after a fashion. You know what I mean? Not
Correct.
just not just what we know is singing and the playing of instruments, like everything, and then the different types of cultures and the different types of music and how they all they bleed over and they influence each other. Which, and speaking of influence, was there anybody that as you were coming up and getting into your finding yourself musically, were there people that that you would say influenced you as a young person at such a young age that you carried with you into adulthood?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to say John Denver was one.
Okay.
Uh, Bonnie Raitt was another, because she was fairly late to the game, but she still kicks A as far as we know. She still kicks A.
You can say ass.
Um,
It's all right.
okay. She kicks so much ass.
Yeah, we going
My
on.
God.
We going on YouTube. We'll be all right.
Okay. She kicks so much ass. I can just, this is just faulty for me. But her, Amy Lee from Evanescence later
Oh, yeah.
on in my years, gosh, there's so many. Can I name them all? Probably not, but I know them all intimately because I've actually been able to dive into their music and swim through it like it was like my lifeblood.
Uh-huh. Now, anything in particular? You talked about Bonnie Raitt. So outside of her getting into the music business late in the game, what was it about her that just stood out for you? Her voice, for me, that very distinctive voice. And I
Yes,
don't know who did the hair first, her or Tina Turner.
her. She did first. She did her hair is actually natural, which is kind of crazy for me. I love Tina Turner. Good Lord, I love Tina Turner. Um, but Bonnie Raitt had that whole kind of a draw for me. It was a slow southern draw into, hey girl, let's go and have some sweet corn pie. Let's go and have some of this, and I will show you what the world is.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it was like for me. But
And then
Tina
after
Turner was that hardcore girl.
oh, definitely. And but Tina, it's interesting to see Tina, not to sidebar off of what you're talking about, but to see Tina with her gospel roots to go so far over into the polar opposite. Like, she really wasn't necessarily R&B. She was a lot more on the blues side, and then from there she just kind of rolled all the way over into the rock.
Yes.
A little bit of pop with the Private Dancer album, and then just, like a lot of
Oh.
her songs were all rock. The we don't need another hero, and the typical male, and the duet she had with Bryan Adams. What is
Yes.
it? All About Love. I think it's All About
What?
Love. Yeah.
All about love.
Yeah. So, um, now we kind of covered some of your past. I have some inside sources, so I did a little
Oh
digging.
no.
I had some inside sources, and I got some fun facts about you that I would like to share with the people. Okay, Sparkles is my inside source, but still, I got some stuff I want to share with the people. Like, don't come at me like, yo, can you give me some dirt on so and so? No, I am not TMZ. This is just, I did my show prep, and it sounds better if I say I got it from the inside sources.
Look, this is inside.
Yeah, we're both inside, so I guess that counts. Some of your spare time activities, which I never would have known, because a couple of these I didn't know about. Like, the one that I do know about, I know that you love Renfest. I know that
Yes.
you are a huge fan of Renfest and Ren Fair. But what I did
Yes.
not know is that you also participate in some of the activities, namely fencing and archery. How in the world does a woman? And for those of you that have never met Sparkle, you're what,
5-ish, 5'2", maybe 5'1".
Yes, like when we stand next to each other, she might come about right there. How did
Yes.
you get into fencing and archery? Because I've seen, because you do with archery, you do is it a longbow? What is it?
I do. I use a longbow. Yes.
And the longbow is like 7'2". So I'm
I
kidding. I'm kidding.
I have a size appropriate longbow, which is a little bit. It's almost as tall as I am. I call it Lottie, Lottie, which means elf, which
Uh-huh.
would mean small, a small bow. So I use the small bow, and I also have used a bow that is taller than I am. It was a recurve, a bear, and it was 63 inches tall. And I couldn't even string it. I had to have people help me string it, but I can shoot that thing. I can shoot it like it was my bread and butter.
Well, how did you get into that, or is that just something that was just a lifelong fascination of yours? I've always been curious. I've never really asked. I know a lot of people that are very into Ren Fair, especially in the Northern Virginia area, because it's really prominent. The Maryland Renaissance Festival, it's huge. Um, but
Right.
I've like, how did you specifically say, I want to do the thing with the arrows?
I was 5. My mom took me to Shakespeare in the Park in Washington, or Oregon, actually. And we were in Eugene, and she took us to Shakespeare in the Park, and Midsummer Night's Dream was playing. We actually got to participate and be fairies, and some of the fairies got to throw things. Some of the fairies got to shoot things. So they gave us this little teeny, like, child size. It was literally this big, with like the sucker cup and
Oh my God,
extensions on them.
they gave you the kitty
They gave
archery
us,
set.
yes, they did. But I was 5. That was fine. And that always stuck with me. And then doing fencing was, I fell in love with Princess Bride and the whole fencing, the whole fighting aspect of that. And I was like, that looks kind of like a dance, and I think I could do that.
It's
So I
very
kind of
much a
did that.
It's it's almost very much a dance. As a matter of fact, the most accurate description I've heard was Serial Pharrell, the first swordsman of Bravos, who
Yeah,
described fencing as like a water dance. And yeah, when you
he's not
watch
wrong.
when you watch fencing in the Olympics, it's very much, you know,
It's very flow. It's very fun. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's just
very
not.
fluid.
Yeah, it's not just two people going. You know, it's not lightsabers on a not lightsabers on a dying Death Star as everybody tries to escape. But even then, that had some degree of fencing to it, the
Yes.
principles of fencing. So yeah, I've
Yeah,
always wondered, and I've known you all that time, and I've never asked you how you got into that.
I've
I
been in
wanted to
that.
know.
I've been doing that for about 30 years, and my child is 31. So,
Okay, okay, been at it for a minute.
yeah, a minute. Yeah,
Yeah,
just a little bit.
and just inside story, y'all. We got to catching up and talking, and she told me she had a kid that was 31, and I did this exactly.
What?
That is exactly what I did, because as long as we'd known each other, I was under the impression that this lovely young lady was a little bit younger than me. That pretty much was what I said. I said it in a text message. I didn't say it out loud, but yeah,
What?
yep, pretty much.
you,
Shout
you
out to
would,
our guy. Shout out to our guy Andrew Faubert, one of the hosts of North Sports Dynasty, one of our sister shows. He loves that clip. He uses it on his own show now. Um, but yeah, I've always wanted to know about that. Now, some other things that you also have done as a result, you do work as a hairdresser, but
yes.
as part of your love for all things medieval, you also do medieval hair. Now, what's the difference between that and just doing a normal hairdo, other than the fact that they don't do a whole lot of the asymmetric bangs and all of that? They like the Jennifer Aniston look.
Well, with medieval hair, you have to do a lot of research and a lot of application. It's a lot easier to do than to do modern hair,
Uh,
because back then they only had a limited source. They had product, they had handmaids, or they had themselves, and they could do their hair, or their barbers could do their hair, which actually happened to be their dentist. Just saying. Um, would do their hair, cut their hair for them, and it would be kind of rudimentary. The styling part had to be done in a matter of steps or a matter of stages, and it had to happen very early in the morning or very early in the afternoon before like the ball or the suppers or anything else. There was 2 sets of fashion for that day. And with modern hair, we set it and forget it.
Yeah,
We
pretty
do
much.
it. We do it and go. We're done. We don't have time for this. Let's go.
Well, also modern living women are actually allowed to have jobs. Like they just don't sit around the castle or the home all day and then make sure that dinner's, if they don't have servants, making sure that dinner is ready and looking after children and all that sort of stuff. So
You are
definitely
correct.
definitely
You are correct.
understood. I mean, it's just amazing to me that you could just be born into prominence and then just have this land and this main castle and a summer home and all of that good stuff. And the lady of the house just had handmaidens just wait on her hand and foot and bathe her and all that good stuff. And like that was her sole purpose in life, was just to be, I'm gonna use a 10-year-old term, to be on fleek whenever she presented herself. So
To be
yeah,
cared for, yes. There was a little bit more than that to it. If you were a house matron, then you had to actually do all of the things that the underclass would do. So you actually had all of the keys to every room. You actually had to be ready to go at a moment's notice. And when guests came, you were in charge. So yeah, that was a lot more involved than the modern ladies now have to deal with.
right. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're just now joining us, this is there's the air horn for Mr. Fingers with the fumble. I normally give myself an air horn every time I fumble over a word. That's 2 so far, so we're keeping a running tally. I had Mike Tyson showed up 3 times Tuesday night when I was not Tuesday, Monday, Sat. See there. Oh, there's another one right there. Oh. Anyway, welcome to this week's edition of Indian Unsigned. I'm your host, Mr. Fingaz. I almost said the other show name because I'm getting ready to tape that one a little bit. I'm here with this week's guest, Sparkles. She's absolutely awesome. We've gone through a little bit of reminiscing. We're going to get a little deeper into some of her most not the most fascinating fun fact, but for the purposes of this show, something that a lot of y'all would like to hear about. We're going to drop another bomb here. We're going to take a little pause for the cause and not a drop of bomb. We're going to, good Lord, I'm so excited to talk to you. I can't get anything right today. We're going to drop a little something here else for the people. And you guys stay tuned and we will be right back.
Introducing the Zagniv One Online Radio Network.
Hey, what's good? It's your boy, Mr. Fingers.
Featuring podcasts such as Let's Talk Football.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
The Ball Pit.
Hell to the no. I hope you choke on a piece for about 3 to 5 seconds and you have to drink a lot of water and you're inconvenienced for about 5 minutes.
Indie and Unsigned.
Well, one, trying to stay healthy, trying to avoid the coronavirus, like a child support. I don't have any kids, so I can say that.
And more indie music than you can handle.
We're going to start it off with one of the I'm telling you, I'm excited about this, man.
The Zagniv One Radio Network.
Let's get it. Holla, holla, holla.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. For those of you that are asking the question, but I haven't heard anything from Zagniv One Radio lately. That's because we did take the site down for a little bit. They were having some technical difficulties and they were double billing your boy, but we got everything situated. So we should be back on the airwaves by the end of September, and you will be hearing repeats of the podcast in addition to being able to find them on Spotify, on Anchor, on Google Podcasts, on iHeartRadio. You will also be able to hear the replays on Zagniv One Radio Network, and you'll be able to hear all this great and awesome independent music. So make sure you stay tuned for that announcement. That's the one thing about drinking soda during the show. You never know when it's going to get you in the middle of a sentence. So we're back here with Sparkles, and you told me that you got an opportunity to attend an event that not many people in our circle get to attend, but almost all of us do watch on television and comment and give commentary about on social media. And that is the Grammy Awards. So tell us about that. How did you wind up getting to the Grammys?
Oh, wow. That was really surreal. Um, I was dating my husband, before husband at the time. He's in a band called Milkshake. They do kids music and they got nominated. So I was asked to go and do the hair and makeup. So I went to do the hair and makeup, and I actually got to be on the red carpet with them, which was super surreal. I got to see Red Foo. I got to see all kinds of artists, including Lady Gaga in the Spiky Egg,
What year,
Concealed.
what year was this?
I think 2009.
Oh wow.
It
Okay.
was pre-meet dress.
Wow. So wait a minute. How come we never heard anything about this? Because we were still hanging out at that point.
Yes, we were, because I was still doing karaoke at that point. um, I had been dating Mr. Shepherd for a minute, and then I didn't realize that he was actually in a musical group that was global until we got news that they had won an award for or a nomination for a Grammy, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And then we were all at we were at Clyde's in Ashburn
Oh
when
wow.
that news broke, and the GM came out and he says, "Really? This is you guys?" I was like, you know, the whole stuck face. You're like,
Right.
I can't believe this is happening face.
Right.
And then we ended up going. I ended up doing hair and makeup, and I got to go to all the parties, and I got to go to all the things. The after party was amazing, and I got to meet so many artists. Zach Brown Band, Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh my
I got
God.
to. I know.
That guy. That wait a minute. Hold on. A lot of people think of this guy as a novelty act. That guy is
No.
so musically talented, and
Yes.
so cerebral that
He's
like a lot of
infinite.
people wouldn't expect that. Like you think he's gonna just be a big goofball who happens to be able to put some goofy songs together. He's exceptionally cerebral and he's very very musically gifted.
He's so intellectual, and he's so genuine that when I met him, I was like, eh, eh, hi, how are you? UHF. I pointed and I went, big fish. And he just started laughing. He's like, yes, that's me. I was like, oh my God, I've been following you since I was a child. He goes, that is so wonderful. He was so genuine and so wonderful.
Oh yeah, God, Eat It. Another one rides the bus.
Yes. It's
Even
so many. Eat
and
it.
I know like he does other things like One More Moment. I think that was actually an original tune, but he even did the parody of R. Kelly's, you know, say what you want to say about R. Kelly, but he did a parody of R. Kelly's Trapped in a Closet called Trapped in the Drive-Thru.
Trapped in the
That
drive-thru.
I
Yes.
still crack up every
Yes.
time I hear it.
Yes. I mean, I almost got to
So
tears because
wow.
he's
I mean
just wonderful. He's a wonderful human being. And
that yeah. I honestly that is an experience that I don't think any of the rest of us in the karaoke community ever had a chance to have. And I, for one, am exceptionally jealous. Now, I still got my picture of me with Boys to Men though. So we kind of
that's awesome. Oh my God. Now that makes me jealous because I loved Boys to Men.
they still touring.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
they were right before we moved out here. They played at the Capitol, whatever it is now in DC. The
Capital
thing that
Arena.
it used to be the Verizon Center, and then before that was the MCI Center.
Mar.
Yeah. Well, at least this time they didn't name it after a cell phone company. But We went to see them with Paula Abdul and New Kids on the Block, and let me tell you,
nice.
they are in our age category, maybe a little bit older, and they are
Mm.
even more phenomenal now than they were when they first dropped Cooley High Harmony. So
Okay, cool.
ridiculous. And Wanye, who's the guy that does the riff on "It's Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday," he has turned his voice into an airbender. It is ridiculous the things that he can do with these notes where he does, and it's like he's conducting his voice as he sings. He does this whole, it's like a Stevie Wonder, and there was like George Benson. You're familiar with George Benson? You know how George
Yes.
scats as he plays, and he does that all
Oh.
freestyle. It's almost like
Yes.
Wanye is he's conducting himself as he's bending, he bends a note this way and comes back that way. It's phenomenal. But
That's
anyway,
amazing.
but this ain't about me. This is about Sparkles. So talk to me. So talk to me about what you got going on now musically. You told me you were working on a project and you signed your husband's record label. So tell me about that. Are you working out of his studio, or maybe I got the information wrong? But tell me about it.
No, you got it right. I actually
Yay!
I'm signed to Mylesh Records, which is Michael Shepard's record label. I have one LP. It's called Up to the Mountain. I actually did a remake of a very, very potent song for our family and for his family. And I do mean potent. It's important, but it's potent because it reflects all of the things that we dealt with.
I got you. I'm definitely with you there. And now, is this out now, or are you still in the process of doing? Is out already?
It is out already.
Okay.
He has not. We haven't put it out on the Apple or on the IMDb or anything else. It is actually just an LP, but I can get it. I guess he needs to put it out there to that. He already has five of his own albums out there. But
yeah.
But it's kind of hard to do.
You're going to have to let me know where we can all get a copy once it all comes out, because yours truly made the mistake 5 years ago. It's like, yeah, I'm going to record an EP, and then I made CDs, but I did actually put it out digitally as well.
Yeah, but the best part is that you have all of that, and the best part is that we can actually move together forward and do something together, separately together, and do more musical fabulosity. And I'm not kidding.
You just made that word up.
No. Fabulosity?
Did you just make it? Yeah.
No.
I'm giving you a hard time. I know it's a word.
It's a word.
The word, that's the $275 SAT word of the day is fabulosity.
Spell it.
F-A-B-losity.
There you go. That's perfect.
Just like in Living Color. It's a conspiracy. C-O-N Conspiracy.
Exactly.
Now, how many songs are on your LP, or is it just a single track LP?
Just a single track, and I'm actually on one of his newest tracks at the end of his musical thing as a I want to say an add-in vocal.
The musical thing, because that's what we listen to, the musical things. That's I'll give you a hard time.
The add-in vocal.
Now, and you've worked with some folks. Well, you mentioned Bret Michaels.
Yes.
Now, how did that come about that you wound up linking up with Bret?
Well, I mean, I performed with Pete Evick for a while in Centerville. He did a couple of singles dates for his own band. It would be Pete Evick, obviously. And then I performed a couple of things, and he said, "Hey, I need some local artists to show up on this album of mine. At that time, I was like, well, I mean, sure, whatever, it's fine. It's you and our local boys, and then Brett Michaels, no big deal. So that I went in and did a whole session with Pete in his studio at his house in Manassas, and then did Lie to Me, that is actually on the album. I didn't ask for money. I just asked for my name to be on the album. So that was the hey, there she is. That's her.
Man, you should have asked for. Did you write the song at all, or did he write it?
No, he wrote it. It was Brett Michaels. Yeah.
Okay. Man, you should have asked for some kind of residuals or something to get you some money.
No, I just my name. If it's out there, then it's out there.
Yeah, but then see, here's the thing, and this is something that, like, I didn't really know anything about the music business, but the one thing that I learned is, like, if you write it, copyright it, get it to the Songwriter Societies, be in my ASCAP, CSAC, blah blah blah, all that good stuff.
Right.
Because
right.
if you do not, somebody else can pick your stuff up, take it, and run with it. The perfect case in point is, did you see the story recently about Khalees?
Yes.
So, for the uninformed, Khalees, I'm pretty sure you recognize that name from the Milkshake song that brings all the boys to the yard, which is kind of funny because you said your husband's band had a song called Milkshake, and I almost made that joke, but
No, that's the band's name.
The band's name is Milkshake. I'm sorry. And this song was the #1 song in the country for a good long while.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. Khalees did not write any of the lyrics. She didn't produce the song. She didn't do any of the instruments on the song. Her only credit was as a vocalist. So all of the money for that song, the only money she made off that song was when she went to perform it, like when she got paid for performing it. The people that made all the money of that song is Pharrell Williams and his production team, and the people that produced the album. And so what wound up happening was she hadn't made any money off of it. Well, recently Beyonce did an album. I don't recall the name. Beehive, please don't come for me. I've been kind of out of the music scene for a while. But Beyonce recently did an album, and she did a track on her album where she incorporated a part of Milkshake into it, the la 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 la, something like that, something along those lines. And she gave Khalees a writing credit for it. Well, somebody got in Khalees's ear and said, yo, Beyonce stole your joint. And Khalees came for Beyonce and raised the whole holy ruckus. What Beyonce was really trying to do was, she knew the deal. She was trying to put some money in Khalees's pocket. Well, after Khalees raised all that ruckus, Beyonce was like, watch this. Take that writing credit off that song. So that's the reason that the reason I told you, short version of that long story, the TLDR version, as we like to say in social media speak. If you ever do any work whatsoever, make sure if you don't have a credit, like as a writer or any kind of contributor, make sure you get some kind of residual off of it, something where you're going to get a residual, because pennies make nickels, make dimes, make quarters, make dollars, and dollars in your pocket make a whole lot of sense.
A lot of sense. So the best part
Go ahead. No, I was gonna say that's the Mr. Fingaz free advice of the day.
Mine was, I was only the vocals behind the music, not anything more.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's fair, but session singers get paid too, right?
Yes, this is true, but they did ask me, to be fair. But I was like, yeah, I mean, I could get paid, or I could get my name out there forever. So
hey, give me enough money to catch an Uber home and 0.5% of the royalty fees.
I mean, I had enough at the moment, so it's fine. It's fine.
Here's something else for you to chew on.
Well,
P Diddy, most popular song, the one he did with Biggie's wife after he died, right? He didn't clear the rights to that sample. He now has to pay Sting $2,000 daily
every time it plays.
No, $2,000 daily, regardless if it plays or not, because that's how much it made in royalties. That's how much the court awarded him. So
Wow.
instead of making Diddy pay a lump sum, Diddy has to pay Sting $2,000 a day every day until he dies. Almost. That's how much money that song made. Now, I'm pretty sure he's not stroking a check every day. He's probably cutting him a check every 30 days. But that's 2,000, that's 6,000, that's 60 grand. And Sting is making $720,000 a year until such time as Sting dies. He's going to make $720,000 a year without even so much as having to do this, because his name is on the writing credit on a P. Diddy song.
Blessed be the man that had the money given.
Yes. So tell me, what you got in the crack pot cooking up for us in the future?
I've actually been in contact with a girl who does local music. I really, really, really want to get back into just singing, just flat out going toe to toe with music. But she's been, it's been hit or miss. Her name is Vicky Marie, and she's got some freaking pipes. Okay. This girl's got pipes for days, but she stopped her show because I was going toe to toe with her, harmony wise, as loud as she was, in the back of a bar where I had no acoustics. So I was literally going toe to toe at the back of a bar with her.
So you showing out, huh? You showing out, huh?
I had a martini. So you know how that goes.
We know about you and those martinis. Yes, indeed.
Dang
Give you a mic, you will sing for days. Oh my God, another song is on.
Exactly. But it wasn't so much that. It was the fact that I knew all the words and all of the tone and all of the inflections that she was going to produce before she even opened her mouth, which is kind of scary. From her aspect. She's like, sheesh, she could put me under real quick unless I get her in my corner.
So you gave her the Usher treatment. So you think you can sing, huh, lady, huh?
Pretty much.
I showed you that before the show. You knew I was gonna slide that in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, nice. She was like, she's got some pipes, and I want that.
Well, I for one have been a fan since the day I first heard you sing, and I haven't heard you sing in quite some time. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands on a copy of Up to the Mountain. And now I'm gonna have to find "Lie to Me" by Evic and listen to that as well, because we've been just out of touch until literally about a month ago.
Yeah, about a month ago.
Hey, what you up to? You want to be on a show? What show? I do a show. You do a show. That's what I said. You said that. You did say that.
You said what?
So yeah, so I have to get my hands on copies of both of these. You definitely have to let us know when this goes digitally available. I mean,
okay.
Like it or not, us old heads like to go to the record shop and feel the vinyl, but that's just the way of the world right now. I've got a record player sitting right up here right now.
But I could send you a CD.
I'll send you my address.
Okay.
We could do it. We could do a 1-for-1 trade. They'll pass each other in the mail.
They would do that. That'd be great. Also, I do weird things on TikTok because I don't care about followers. I just care about fun. Does that make sense?
Oh, 100%.
So what I do on TikTok, I'll do duets with people, and it doesn't make much sense, but there's a lot of music involved.
All right. Well, I will definitely. This is me showing my age now. When my parents were the age I am now, my parents were like, I don't see how you could play that Atari all day long. I don't even know. How do you work this thing? Now, mind you, the Atari was a single joystick with one orange button, and it only went in several different directions, and they couldn't figure that out. So now I'm at the point like, how do you do this TikTok? I mean, I know it's not really any different than the other. It's another video posting platform. But
It's not
I just
bad.
I just haven't gotten on it yet because I've already got all the other ones you see up there: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter,
Yeah. I
Instagram.
Yes, I do all of that except for the Twitter. The Twitter has confounded me, so I just went straight to TikTok.
Well, Twitter is basically Facebook except less pictures, no reels, and you're limited by the number of characters you can input. But I still use it as a live streaming platform because they finally jumped on the live stream boat.
But I have so much to say.
So do it in multiple. Yeah, that's the thing with Twitter. 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3. That's it. Facebook just lets you speak. Good God, I had read a post maybe about 2 months ago, and it took me 10 minutes to read. That's how long it was.
Holy God!
I don't know what was worse: the fact that the person took the time to type all of that out, or the fact that my dumb ass sat and read it all.
No,
hey, watch yourself.
It was both. It was both. They were passionate, and you were passionate about reading. And
they were passionate, and I was nosy. That's what it boils down to. So, oh gosh, wow, we really have flown through. We're about at the 50-minute mark. So you said you have some projects on tap now. Are you going to be doing any more recording? Are we going to be hearing any more recording out of you? Are we going to be able to see you at any venues anytime soon in the area?
Yes, I'm going to be doing a couple of recordings, TikToks. Obviously, that's separate from actual recordings, and a couple of lives, actually live projects with my friend who actually said, "Hey, she's got pipes." So yeah,
Okay.
there'll be a thing.
Okay,
And but that's local-ish to me, which is Northern Virginia, Mid Virginia, Southern Virginia.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that it can't be recorded. So
very true, or that you can't broadcast it live on Facebook. But I digress. So I've got all your ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Sparkles, and I would tell her to tell you all where you can find her. But guess what? I got it right here rolling in the crawl, so I'll read it out for you. You want to see her on Instagram? She's at Heidi Tinkerbell. You want to see her on TikTok? She's at Green Aura 2 Tinkerbell. Now, I know you have a Facebook, but I don't really want to give out your personal one. You said you had a one for your alter ego. What is that?
The one is Corinne Taylor to Cameron, and my other one is Heidi Corinne Wheeler Shepherd, which is my main.
Okay, and those
either one is fine.
Oh, okay. If you cool with that, I just know it's some weirdos out there on the internet, but I know you know how to handle yourself, so. Just be careful. It's crazy in these social media streets.
Archery. They can run. They'll just die tired. He's like, well, I don't even know what to say to that.
Oh my gosh. All right. I've had a blast talking with you, dear, and we're going to talk a little bit more after we get off air. But ladies and gentlemen, I would love for you all to give a nice round of applause for Sparkles. Darling, we've missed you. And I'm sorry we didn't get to see you and Mr. Shepherd while we were in town. But I will be sure to let you know far enough in advance the next time we're coming, because I was making my way in town and y'all were going out of town or something like that. So we'll have to make that happen. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Sparkles. You can find her all those places down there at the bottom and all the places she said. And as soon as Up to the Mountain gets on the internets, we go put that out and let you know where to find it. I do appreciate you very much, dear. Hang tight. I'm going to roll the closing credits and we will be I'll hang tight. I'll roll the closing credits and we'll talk a little bit more. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we appreciate you for watching this week's edition of Indie and Unsigned on behalf of my lovely guest, the lovely and talented and very colorful haired Sparkles, we are OUWT out, and we will see you later. Holla.